Just pokututa Krista Krenko. Ja, Oscar.
Yes, I bet you have.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Who shot first?
Yeah, I shot you first, you green son of a...
Hello and welcome to Who Shot First, the first ever Star Wars trivia game show podcast. I'm your host, Star Wars fan and comedian Dylan Hesp, and it is so nice to have you with us. If you're new to the podcast, you are in for an absolute treat because in today's episode, we have some fantastic special guests who will be battling it out in 4 fun and unique rounds of Star Wars trivia, all in the hopes of being crowned this month's Jedi Master. But not just that, you are also invited to join in. All you have to do is score along with the show and let us know at the end of the episode how you fared against our guests. You can do that by sending us a tweet at Who Shot First, and that's first like first place. But anyway, let's get on with it and meet our special guests. It's time to play Who Shot First. So our first guests tonight playing together for Team Greedo are the ultimate Star Wars power couple. They've been Star Wars fans since day one, had a Star Wars themed wedding, and they even run a crazy amount of marathons, some of which dressed as BB-8 from The Force Awakens. He's written for StarWars.com and she's a host of Rebel Force Radio's Fangirls Going Rogue, plus as the host of the fantastic Star Wars and Disney themed podcast Skywalking through Neverland. Not only are they bigger fans of the Disney Star Wars merger than George Lucas, they're also experts on all things Disney. Plus, they've interviewed countless Star Wars celebrities from James Caan and Stephen Stanton to Steve Sansweet, Jeremy Bulloch and Ashley Eckstein. Pretty much they've interviewed more people than I have Twitter followers. It's Richard and Sarah Woloski.
Hey.
Hey guys, thanks for being here.
And thanks for doing your homework. That was quite an intro.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, I've got to, otherwise no one will bother coming on this thing. But I mainly I know so much about you guys because I follow you on Instagram, and that was actually where I saw those BB-8 costumes. Now,
nice.
They were awesome, but I have to ask, what would they like to run in? Because they seem quite restrictive.
Well, they were very easy to run in until you got a big gust of wind coming up on you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, luckily my dad is an engineer, so he engineered them so you could move around in them. And the only thing that is, they were like attached by a belt to your waist. So that's the only thing that kind of got, grating, after a while was like the weight of it on your waist. But that's a good place to, put it. In your mid-torso there.
We are willing
dedicated
to go through all that torture and pain and suffering just to see the smiles on the fans' faces.
Absolutely.
It's all about the fans.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, with that amount of hardship from those costumes, you've done a fantastic job. So what will you guys do next? Are you going to keep BB-8 going for a little bit, or have you got a new idea for the next Star Wars marathon?
Well, I think actually this morning is when we signed up for the Rebel Challenge for Star Wars Half Marathon 2016.
Cool.
And that means we're going to be running the 10K and the Half Marathon back to back. So
Far
that's
out.
Exciting. I know.
So we have a good 7 months to figure out our new costumes.
And in the meantime, there will be a new movie released. So
that is so cool. I just gotta love the fact though, because most people when they talk about doing a 10K run and a marathon back to back, they'd be like, "All right, I've got 7 months to train." Whereas you guys are like, okay, we've got 7 months to make a new costume.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all about the costuming, and then maybe somewhere 3rd or 4th place comes the training.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Either that or you guys are just fit freaks and you're amazing. So anyway, but welcome to the show. It's awesome to have you here. Now, our second guest has written extensively for StarWars.com and Star Wars Insider. He's the co-owner of JediNews.com, the host of the Collectors Cast, and can also be heard alongside last month's guest, Mark Newbold, on Rebel Force Radio's Radio 1138. If that's not all, he's also hosted panels on Star Wars Lego at Celebration, been featured on the BBC's Collectaholics, and has one of the biggest Star Wars collections in the UK. Pretty much, to put it simply, he's got more pieces of Star Wars memorabilia than there are people in the entire sovereign state of Monaco. It's James Burns.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
I
How
don't know
are
what
you?
to say. I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. Thanks for being here.
Absolute pleasure.
I have to ask, because I'm a collector too, James, but kind of nothing in your kind of sphere. But we've got a whole new movie coming out. What are you collecting at the moment? What are you excited for?
Well, I'm in a bit of a difficult position because obviously I write what's coming for Star Wars Insider, so I do get to see things a little bit ahead of everyone else.
And
Okay, so do you know the full plot of the new movie, or?
Anyway, so I get to see some of these new products ahead of time, ahead of schedule, which does give me a sort of advantage, but it means that I have to work out how much money I'm going to be saving. And there's lots and lots coming for Force Friday. Lego's my main focus, as you sort of said and alluded to, but there is so much cool stuff coming, and I think people are going to be thrilled at what they see and what's revealed at San Diego. So not too long to wait.
That makes me so excited. So I don't want to take words out of your mouth, but can we expect even more from San Diego than has kind of been alluded to? Because there were some announcements about that this week.
Well, there were some announcements about some of the exclusives that were going to be available from Hasbro and Mattel, and obviously Lego announced a new product, but it won't be available at San Diego. But if you look into your crystal ball, you'll see that Hasbro didn't do a presentation at Celebration, but they are going to do a celebration at San Diego. So what else are they going to talk about if they're not going to talk about what's coming in September and later this year? So
absolutely.
If I was a guessing person, I would say that they'd be talking about some of that stuff that we'll be seeing on September 4th.
Cool. Well, thank you guys both, all of you guys, for being on the show. We're going to get ready to play Who Shot First with round one. Now, in round one, our contestants will each get to pick one category of questions to tackle and must buzz in to answer. Now, Rich and Sarah, you'll be playing for Team Greedo today. Do you want to test your buzzer for me?
Greedo!
Well done. And James, you'll be playing for Team Solo.
Solo!
Greedo!
Fantastic. So, James, you actually have the first choice out of the 4 following categories of questions today for round one. Here are your choices. Sci-Fi What Now? Who Am I? Character questions. Rebel Scum? Questions about Star Wars Rebels. The Schwartz, which is Star Wars parody questions. Or Galaxy Far, Far Away? Questions about the Death Star.
Let's go with the Rebels question. Rebel Scum, please.
Fantastic. All right, so we have 5 questions about Star Wars Rebels. Richard and Sarah, are you guys ready there with your buzzers? Ready to go?
Yes, we are.
All right, let's do it. Here we go. Question number 1. Remember, you have to buzz in to answer. The look of Star Wars Rebels is based heavily on the work of...
Greedo!
James.
Ralph McQuarrie.
Well done, 1 point. Question number 2. What species is the character Kitwa?
Greedo!
I'm going to give that to Greedo. Team Greedo.
Wookiee.
He's a Wookiee.
Well done. Point to you guys. Seen in the first episode, of course. All right, question number 3. In the season 1 finale, no spoilers, the Rebels use a TIE fighter which was previously stolen.
Greedo!
Okay. Richard.
Sabine.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. I'm going to hand over to James.
Stolen.
I hadn't finished the question. James, do you have any idea? Or do you want to hear out the rest of the question?
I'll hear out the rest of the question, please.
In the season 1 finale, the Rebels use a TIE fighter which was previously stolen in what episode?
Ooh, it was stolen in... Ooh, it was stolen a while... Oh, let me just think about this a second. Was it Breaking Ranks?
No. I'm going to hand back over to Richard and Sarah. Do you guys want to have another crack?
Yeah. I wanna. The name that's popping out is Fight or Flight.
You are correct. Well done.
Oh, there it
well
is.
done. Well done,
Good try,
guys.
James, as well.
I
All
just
right.
had to think about it. It's like, oh, fighter, tighter, fighter, fight or flight. There you go.
Well
All it
done.
took was 3 more seconds of thinking.
All right, we've got 2 more questions in this category about Star Wars Rebels. Question number 4. What model were the disruptors that were used in the destruction of Zeb's homeworld, Lasan?
Greedo.
Yeah.
All right, Team Greedo.
I'm going to say THX1138-4EB.
That's a fantastic guess. I'm really sorry it's not the right answer. James, do you have any ideas?
I know the episode, and I'm just trying to think. No, I don't.
That's right. The correct answer was T7 ion disruptors.
Oh, so close.
I knew it was ion,
Oh,
but
come on. We were so close on that one. Come on.
Question number 5. What fake name did Ezra Bridger use while investigating the Lothal Imperial Academy? So Ezra, when he was investigating the Lothal Imperial Academy, what fake
Greedo.
name? All right, Rich and Sarah.
He used the alias of Taylor Gray.
For those who don't know, that is his voice actor's name. That would have been awesome if he'd used that.
He used Grayson Taylor.
Close. James, do you have any idea?
Well, I know J. Kell and it was somebody were his friends.
Yes, that's correct.
And I'm just trying to think of his character name, and it's gone. It's gone.
That's okay. The correct answer, unfortunately, even though maybe it should have been Taylor Gray, was Dev Morgan. Well done. So there are our 5 Rebel Scum questions about Star Wars Rebels. Now, Rich and Sarah, you guys get the next choice.
All right, let's go with Cypher. What now?
Sounds great. And you nailed the inflection there, Rich. That was perfect.
I've
Okay.
been practicing that one.
So these are who are my character questions. So how it works is you can buzz in at any time to answer these ones. But if you buzz in and are incorrect, I will hand over straight over to the opposite team. So here we go. Question number 1 for Cypher What Now. I am a member of the Rebel Alliance. And though I only appeared in one Star Wars film, was a fan favourite due to my extended presence in the radio drama and deleted scenes. I was
Greedo.
Richard.
Biggs Darklighter.
Well done. That's 1 point. Congratulations.
Woot woot.
Good call.
Yeah, that was
Cyber
fantastic.
high fives for everybody.
Yeah.
That was our cyber high fives.
So question number 2. All right. I am a fearless Mandalorian warrior with a hatred for Jedi that was featured in 7 episodes of Star
Greedo.
Wars The Clone Wars. Richard.
Boba Fett.
That is incorrect. I'm going to hand over to James. So I am a fearsome Mandalorian warrior with a hatred for Jedi that was featured in 7 episodes of The Clone Wars.
Pre Vizsla.
Well done. That is correct, James. Fantastic. And what a great bad guy he was.
He was awesome.
He was awesome. I love that black lightsaber thing. That was
Awesome.
mad.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Darksaber. Much better than the book. No offense to whoever wrote it. Question number 3.
Well, they're all leg ends now anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. Perhaps the character with the most ambiguous death in the Star Wars films. I was killed in both the Revenge of the Sith novelization, the Force Unleashed video game.
Greedo.
Richard.
We're going to go with Miss Shock T.
Ding ding, correct. Well done. Do you guys know about this? Because when I was a kid, it was so confusing because honestly, she dies in the book. She dies in The Force Unleashed. She dies in the Revenge of the Sith deleted scenes. And then she also now is in a flashback. Well, not a flashback, but in the Clone Wars, Yoda has a vision. And she dies. So there's no clear answer on this one.
You know she's
if it
one of
happened in the
4.
Clone Wars, that means it's canon.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
that's the death.
But the only thing is, it's like a forced dream. And we know not always to trust them, though. Do you know what I mean? So I still feel like, anyway, it doesn't matter.
She's one of 4 siblings, and they're all identical.
Yeah, exactly.
My theory.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah, that's the best answer. All right, question number 4 from Cypher What Now. So once a Jedi Master, I became one of the greatest Sith Lords in Star Wars Legends until I lost my memory and was brought back to the Jedi Order. Now a part of the Jedi again, and with the help of my droid T3M4, Karth Anassi, and others, my quest became to unlock the mystery of the Starforge and destroy Darth Malak. I was a playable character in the video game Knights of the Old Republic.
Solo.
James Burns.
Revan. Darth Revan.
Darth Revan, correct. And question number 5 to finish off this round. Hailing from Chandrilia, I was a powerful political figure for my people and after the creation of the Galactic Empire. Although only appearing in the original trilogy for 26.5 seconds, I found new life in Revenge of the Sith, its deleted scenes and the expanded universe stories after
Solo.
Return of the Jedi. James Burns.
Mon Mothma?
Mon Mothma, that is correct. Well done.
I was going to guess that.
Mon Mothma.
If only you could buzz in late.
Now, wait a minute. She was in Revenge of the Sith?
She was in a deleted scene.
She was she was in deleted scenes and kind of like background.
That's what
shots.
gave it away. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny though because you might have noticed I referenced there that she was only in Return of the Jedi for 26.5 seconds. That is actually, I can't remember the actor's name, but that's actually what she would say to people because she'd go for
Catherine Munro.
James, you're insane. She would go for auditions for plays, and people would be like, "Oh, you were in Star Wars," and she'd be like, "Yes, but only for 26.5 seconds."
She's a lovely person. I've interviewed her.
26.5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't make a lasting impression. I mean, she didn't even get an action figure, but Crix Maydeen did, so who knows what's up with that.
Oh, man.
But speaking of action figures, James, I did joke in your intro about how your Star Wars collection contains more pieces than there are people in Monaco.
Yes.
But I think that is actually true. Is it correct that you have around 35,000 pieces in your collection?
It's about 37 at the moment. 37,000.
37.
Yeah.
Okay, so that might be more than another country now.
Yeah, excluding individual Lego bricks, which would take it. Well, let's not even go there.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, that's.
I was gonna ask. Does that include Lego bricks?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I daren't go there. I think my wife would. Throw some stuff out. Let's put it. Quietly.
Yeah. And I actually wanted to ask you about that because it was actually last year. I watched an episode of the BBC program Collectaholics, and actually in preparation for the show, I caught up on it. It's a great episode. If you want to check it out, it's on YouTube, but I didn't say that, which I recommend anyone watch if they haven't done so. But James, you and your family were featured in an episode.
Yes.
And pretty much, so what they did was they helped you take your collection out of boxes and all the crevices it was hiding in, and then helped you count it so that now you know how big it is and display it, and it's displayed really beautifully. But I just wanted to ask you, what was that whole experience like?
It was the scariest 3.5 months of my life. Day one of the shooting was here in January, and the last day of shooting was April the 10th. So
wow.
That whole period was just crazy. It was freezing cold in the UK, and they decided and they cajoled me into putting all of my collection into a huge removal lorry and taking it to a safe storage place, which was about 12 miles from where I live. So that was fairly scary. It was.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be like, sometimes I'm a bit cautious about people touching my collectibles, let alone take them all away.
Yeah, I mean it was scary. It was good that it was done. The unit it was taken to was all made of metal, so I think it was -8 outside. It was snowing outside, and because the building was made of metal, it was even colder inside. So, getting in there and opening up boxes with freezing cold hands, it was not a pleasant experience. I don't regret doing it at all, and a huge thanks to BBC and RDF for helping me through the process. It was an amazing process. I need to do it again. No, I'm joking. If anybody's listening, I don't need to do it again.
I was going to say
it was very, very scary. I mean, putting yourself out like that. My wife Sarah and I sat down with the production company before we signed the contracts, and we made it very, very clear that we didn't want it to be a show that was like so many of them are, where they literally, excuse me, but take the piss out of people and they belittle belittle collectors. We wanted it to be a serious show, and we wanted it to come across that way. So we spent a lot of time with them going through that process and making sure that was all going to be correct before we actually agreed to do it. And I think that came across. I think they did treat us really, really well, and it didn't come across as if it was a big, let's have some fun with these guys and just, take fun out of the fact that he collects Star Wars stuff. So the whole process was amazing. The people involved were absolutely amazing. It was a little bit frustrating at the end because the people that they got in to do the actual valuation only valued the Kenner and Hasbro stuff. They didn't value any of the other stuff.
Really?
Which was a bit frustrating because they didn't have the knowledge to do it.
Yeah.
And that was difficult. For them to find somebody to come in and actually appraise everything was very, very difficult, because really there's only probably 5-10 people around the world that could actually appraise some of that stuff.
You'd probably know them all.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Steve, Gus, Duncan,
yeah.
myself on some of the pieces. So it was a really, really difficult process for them to do, and I do appreciate that. but we had immense fun doing it, and it was a real bonding exercise for the whole family, I think.
I have to say, like, in what you were saying, like, I think the show did come across really well. I thought it was rather serious, because I totally get what you mean, because sometimes, especially with Star Wars stuff, you know, there is that element where it can just be taking the mickey. Do you get what I mean? Like, yeah, and just not appreciating it. Like, they wouldn't do that for someone's collection of vases. So, you know, so why should they do the same, you know, for Star Wars? And I think a lot of the time it comes back to that fact of that Star Wars is still at times considered quite nerdy, when really when it came out in cinemas, like, everybody loved Star Wars. Do you get what I mean? It wasn't this like niche thing. Like, everyone loved it. What about you, Richard and Sarah? Have you ever found, kind of like what James was alluding to, have you ever found those kind of interesting responses to your fandom? Because I guess, you know, you guys are specific in the sense as being big Disney fans as well.
Oh yeah, all the time, and like James, I've got a pretty extensive collection that goes back now 38 years. In fact, James, you'll enjoy this. Today I was going through my collection and I found an action figure I didn't know I still had on the card back, and it was a vinyl Cape Jawa. So you know what? While you're on the phone here, I'm gonna open it up.
Oh my goodness!
I just opened up my vinyl Cape Jawa. This is a nice figure. Hold on, let me get him out of the package here.
You didn't do that. You didn't do that.
What? Is this worth something, James? It's a vinyl Cape Jawa. Is this worth something?
No, not at all. I know how much Steve paid for his, and I know how much they're worth today. So.
Oh, maybe I should. You know what? This was Steve's. He loaned it to me.
Oh, really? Oh, I wondered where it went. Okay.
I don't know how wise that is of him.
Yeah, little inside joke to anyone who is up on the Kenner action figures, but that's like the holy grail of all action figures is that vinyl Cape Jawa still on the card back.
Absolutely.
Fortunately, I've got a box of 12 sitting right next to me. So,
are you serious?
All right, let's not compare Jawa vinyl cases. All right, that's not fair, because sounds like me and Sarah are going to lose this bout. So we're going to continue on with round two. At the end of round one, our scores are Richard and Sarah for Team Greedo with 4 points, and James for Team Solo with 4 points. So let's get started. Now it's time for round two.
Can you speak bocce?
So in round two, Do You Speak Bocce? Each team will be given 4 classic Star Wars quotes. Now, these quotes have been translated into a non-English language and then translated back into English. So your challenge for 2 points is to interpret the quote and also figure out which character said it. If you're unsuccessful, the other team will have the opportunity to answer your question. So all of today's quotes will be coming from The Phantom Menace to make things a little bit easier for you. And Richard and Sarah, you're up first. Are you ready to see if you guys are fluent in over 6 billion forms of communication?
I think so.
Yeah, we crammed in. So far, I'm up to 5 million forms of communication.
Okay. All right. Well, you didn't make it to 6, so we'll just move on to James then. No, I'm kidding. All right. Here we go. Question number 1 for Do You Speak Bocce? So this has been translated into Polish and then back. This is a quote from The Phantom Menace. And the quote is, now excuse me if my Polish isn't great because one of these words is different. The quote is, always just wxi fish.
There's always a bigger fish.
Well done. That's 1 point. And can you guess who it was by, the quote?
My last name is Woloski, so I'm very fluent in Polish.
Oh, fantastic.
I can't speak a word. So I'm just taking a stab at it.
I can speak more German than he can Polish.
Okay.
Yeah, that was spoken by Qui-Gon Jinn himself, Mr. Liam Neeson.
Well done. All right, question number 2 for you guys. So this one has been translated into Japanese and back. Quote from The Phantom Menace. The quote is, all of them to wipe them.
Wipe them out. All of them.
Well done.
You gotta say just like Palpatine said it. Sarah does a great Palpatine.
Can we hear your Palpatine?
Wipe them out.
All of them. Hey, Sarah, that was good. Sarah, that was good.
Do you know what I love about Palpatine? Like, for me, the character just resonates with me so much more now that we know his first name. Have you guys all heard about this? That Palpatine,
yes.
his first name is Sheev. now.
Shiv, yeah.
Yeah. So now I just love every time I see Palpatine, I'm like, oh, there's Sheev.
And I don't get it why people have such a problem with that.
No, it's not that I have a problem. It's just funny, the idea of knowing his first name when you haven't known it for so long.
And in Lords of the Sith, we find out his middle name is Tony.
I thought it was Sandra. Anyway.
I thought it was Anthony, actually.
Yeah, Anthony. All right, question number 3. This one's Japanese again for Richard and Sarah. You have a human cyborg relations 3PO. Hello, I am C.
Okay.
That's the full quote.
Hello, I am C-3PO, human cyborg relations.
Correct.
Said by C-3PO.
Well done. Fantastic. And your final one. Now, this one has been translated into Burmese and then back to English.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we pod racing.
Now this is pod racing.
Yes, well done. Just channeling young Anakin there. All right, now James, now it's your turn. I've got 4 quotes for you, and if you get them wrong, then I'll hand over to the other guys. Are you ready, James?
I'm ready. Yep.
Okay, let's do it. The first one has been translated into Japanese and then back, and this is it. I mind trick does not apply to me meters, Toydarian, money. See, they're good, aren't they? The Japanese ones are the best.
Okay, so you...
So it's from the Phantom Menace.
So it's Watto, and
Yep,
Watto
correct,
is
1
saying,
point.
Jedi mind tricks don't work on me. I'm a Todori... hold on. I'm just trying to get the actual words. So
yeah.
Because I guess you want them in order.
No, I'm going to give it to you anyway. You got the
fine.
best bit.
Yeah.
So the
Wait a minute. Now you get James. You got to say it like Watto.
Yeah, give us your best Watto impersonation, James.
Well, I am Jewish, but okay. No, that's Yoda. Sorry. Nearly.
Close.
Yoda's probably Jewish as well. But anyway, no, mind tricks don't work on me. No, it's not very good. I'm sorry, not very good.
That was Grover.
I'm really impressed though. That's a great voice. That's awesome. Question number 2. This one's been translated into Chinese and then back. Feeling, do not think so. Trust your instincts.
So this is Yoda. Feel, don't think, trust your instincts.
I'm going to give you 1 point. Unfortunately, it wasn't by Yoda, but you've
got
the quote right.
Yeah. Okay, yep.
Yeah,
Steele?
Richard and Sarah, do you know who the quote was by?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Well done. There we go. All right, question number 3. This one has been translated into Zulu and then back to English. A bit of a harder one, James. The quote is, I feel bad. I feel bad is the quote.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yes, well done. And who was it spoken by?
Phantom Menace. Who said it in Phantom Menace? I'm going to go with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well done. That is correct. Ding, ding. And your final question, number 4, for Do You Speak Bocce, James? This one has been translated into Japanese and then back. The quote is, given the user die, gonna use a people. Oh, sorry, it's a question. Given the user die, gonna use a people?
So this is Jar Jar Binks.
Yes, correct.
And it's means I think people are going to die. Something like that.
Yeah, that's it. So if it can make Jar Jar's lines even more confusing.
Yeah, exactly.
But well done.
You should translate something into Sanskrit. So it's the words of what is it? Duel of the Fates is in Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah. Yeah, the whole is it the bit as well where it does like the whispers? That's actually
it's actually George
in
Lucas'
Sanskrit
script for episode 7 is actually encoded in the whole of that. You can actually the Journey of the Wheels, everything is in that.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it. That's the language he uses to serenade his wife. But anyway,
who's that? Richard to Sarah or?
No.
Sarah's like, oh, if only. So at the end of round 2, our scores are, we have James on 11 points. Well done, James. And Richard and Sarah on 13 points. So well done. Oh, it's so close. Now, Richard, I mentioned at the start of the show that you were pretty much a Star Wars fan from day one. But not only that, you also attended pretty much what's regarded as the first ever Star Wars celebration as a teenager and a Star Wars fan. That's correct?
Yes, you really have done your homework, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I read this article ages ago, even before this show, because you wrote about this on the Star Wars website. Now, what was the event called? But what was that experience like?
This was what I call Celebration Zero, back when it was just the Starlog presents the tribute to George Lucas and his magical universe and galaxy far, far away.
It was an entirely too long name.
Yeah, it was a very long title.
I was going to say that title is very excessive.
Yes, and it was in 1987 in Los Angeles.
Try putting that on a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the 10th anniversary, and as a convention, I just called Celebration Zero, because that's what it was. It was the first celebration before there were celebrations, and this was an experience unlike any other, because at that point, Star Wars was starting to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it was the Dark Ages, so you never knew it would have such a resurgence, and you just thought that, okay, well, I guess Star Wars is over. And when this was announced and then attending it, it was just such a happy and sad feeling, because I thought this was really the last hurrah for Star Wars. But now seeing thousands of fans from all over the world, because I didn't think there were any really more fans left, but here's fans from the UK, from Japan, from Tunisia, from everywhere, and they're all converging into this one hotel in Los Angeles.
That's amazing. So Starlog, that was an old science fiction magazine. So what kind of guests? So obviously George Lucas was there.
George Lucas was there. Peter Mayhew, Anthony Daniels, Billy D. Williams, Irvin Kershner, Gary Kurtz. Everyone but Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher.
Wow.
They weren't there.
Oh, that's disappointing. Shame on them, you know?
Yeah. But I think they were all working at that time. Or in Harrison Ford's case, he just really wanted to distance himself.
He really doesn't like... he doesn't... I was going to say he doesn't like Star Wars. He just doesn't like anything, I don't think.
He doesn't like celebrity, I think.
He hates, with a capital hate, he hates speaking in front of people.
Yeah.
He doesn't like talking about or seeing his work from what at that point was 10 years old. That would have mortified him to see that. And people all going crazy for Han Solo. And he just... He's an actor. He just wanted to move on from that. And he just didn't want to be typecast, and he was being typecast. Yeah. And he just didn't want anything to do with Star Wars anymore.
Yeah. Well, I've got a bit of a theory on how his not caring about everything works. Pretty much, my understanding is as soon as he finishes the movie and he puts his earring back in, then he doesn't care about anything. It's the ear piercing that's the causing the catalyst, I think.
And I'm really hoping ILM does a bang-up job and covers up that ear hole in post-production in The Force Awakens. Because if I see a pierced ear on Han Solo, it's going to really take me out of it.
You know how everyone's kind of wondering, like, what's Han Solo been doing all this time? Because he's not... because when he hops in the Falcon in the trailer, he's like, Chewie, we're home. He's actually been off living this crazy lifestyle, getting his ears pierced and all this kind of stuff with Chewbacca. Yeah, he's a punk Solo.
Yeah, when Sarah and I had met Harrison Ford about a year ago, that's the first thing I looked for. Can we see the piercing in his ear? Yeah.
Did you?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did. I like that. I'm sure he's looking at me like, why are you looking at my ears?
I was going to say, I can't believe it irritates you so much.
Okay. Yeah, well done. Now, Sarah, coming over to you. As I said before, I follow you on Instagram, and I'm constantly blown away by your Disneyland photos. I don't know if you get exclusive access or what, but obviously you're a huge Star Wars fan, but where did, your love of Disney come from?
Well, I mean, I was kind of born in that time where the Disney Renaissance... it was perfect timing for me. So like Little Mermaid came out in 89 and I was like the perfect age for that movie. So, Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Lion King and Aladdin, they all were like bam, bam, bam. And I was all totally into Disney. And then moving to LA is when you kind of find yourself buying an annual pass and going there all the time. So then you have this love of the parks. And so it just kind of built from there. And now with all our podcast and the writing we do for the blog adventuresbydaddy.com, we've gotten to go to some exclusive events. Like for the Disneyland 60th anniversary celebration, they actually had a 2.5 day, almost 3 day press event where they invited the press and bloggers and media to come, and they gave us sneak previews of the brand new parade. Yeah, and the
did you see any Star Wars stuff at all, or no?
Well, no, actually, there was nothing specifically Star Wars for the Disneyland 60th celebration, except for an R2D60 droid action figure. Yeah. So in fact, we ended up buying like 5 of those for friends all around that are not, here in LA.
Yeah.
And, so that's how we get to have all those fun.
There's a little noise on the line here. What was
Sorry.
that?
Yeah. I think, are we chatting with a collector as well today? I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Hey, we're going to keep shooting on, guys. We've got round 3 now, which I think you guys are going to really enjoy.
I think it works better as an instrumental anyway.
So in round 3, Richard and Sarah and James, you'll each be given a Star Wars musical score mashup, including 6 different cues from the Star Wars films, TV shows, or video games. We call it Figure and Dance Jams, and you'll be awarded 1 correct point for every music cue you can place, and an extra point if you can name the original source content it comes from. So James, are you ready for your Figure and Dance Jams?
Yeah, far away.
All right, here we go.
No. Allow.
Your voice would float like a feather and we'd sing together our tune.
All right, there's your 6 tracks for Figure and Dance Jams. James, which ones did you get?
Okay, there was definitely one from the holiday special.
Close. You're very close.
Well, there was a Christmas track in there.
Yeah, I'm going to give that one to you because it is so hard. It's from the Christmas with the Stars album.
We had Jabba's Palace from Return of the Jedi. We had one of the tracks from that. Then we also had some music from Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yep, so I'll give you a point for that one.
And we also had some music from Episode 3. I think that was the last track.
I'll give you a clue. It was the first one, but you are right. There was one from Episode 3.
And then I also wrote down Episode 2. I noticed a theme or something.
No, unfortunately, there wasn't Episode 2.
Okay,
but you've done really well. Now, do you have any ideas of any of the track names? Now, this is the hard part, but.
So I'm just trying to think of track names. I'm just going through the album sleeve in my head. I'm going to go with Moisture Farm. Oh no, Binary. Go on.
Yes. Say that again.
Binary Sunset.
Yes, well done.
Okay.
Congratulations.
These are hard questions.
Yeah, man. Well, you guys have been caning all the last ones, so I've got to try and get you somewhere. So to go through them all, we had Grievous Speaks to Lord Sidious from Revenge of the Sith, Jedi Rocks from Return of the Jedi, Sleigh Ride from Christmas with the Stars, The Asteroid Field from Empire Strikes Back, Binary Sunset from A New Hope, and Qui-Gon's Noble End from The Phantom Menace. The old spoiler track.
Yes.
Now, Sarah in particular, I know you're a Williams fan. Are you guys ready for your 6 Figure and Dance Jams? All right, let's...
Now, is it fair if we call up Dave Collins as a phone friend?
I'm going to go with no.
Oh, I should have done that. I could have got Jimmy Mack on the line as well.
They said, no, we cannot phone a friend. All right.
Paul Bateman. Okay, no, sorry, come.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's your 6 Figure and Dance Jams. All right, Sarah, there are your 6 Figure and Dance Jams. What guesses have you got for me?
So the first one is Leia's theme.
Yes, well done. Can you
Okay.
tell me what film
Leia's-
it appears in?
The episode 4.
All of them.
But yes,
Pretty much,
all of
yeah.
them. The second one is Battle of Hoth from Empire Strikes Back.
Correct. The actual title is Battle in the Snow, but I'm going to give you that point.
Right.
Okay.
Number 3 was Miko's The Theme to Star Wars from Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk album.
Yeah.
You are correct. Well done.
All right. And number 4 was Across the Stars from episode 2.
Yes, correct.
Number 6 was Return of the Jedi.
We're forgetting one.
Yeah, what's number 5?
The next one, I want to say... I want to say it's the General
It's from
Grievous
one.
theme.
Yeah, it's the theme that they kind of said it was. Well,
From
no,
Revenge
it's
of the
from,
Sith.
Actually, I'm thinking it's from episode 1.
What's your answer, guys?
Wait. Can we hear it one more time or no?
No, sorry.
Yes, sure we can. Sure we can.
Just rewind the recording.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You say Grievous. See, I think it's from the Phantom Menace, and it's the theme of the what David Collins calls the theme of the what is it, the Separatists.
You are absolutely correct. It is the
Bam!
it is the droid invasion from the Phantom Menace. All right, and your
Yeah.
final track, number 6.
Yes, so that's from Return of the Jedi when
Correct.
Luke jumps off the barge,
As-
sail barge assault.
Yes.
Dave Collins calls
Yep,
it the
Sail Barge
Return of the
Assault.
Jedi track.
Yes.
Bam.
For me, have you guys seen the Family Guy parody of Star Wars?
Oh God, I love it.
Yeah, and there's that bit where, because when you're a kid, that scene with that music where it goes dun dun like that, it feels like it goes for
Yep.
ages, and they just nailed it in the thing. Well done.
They've done so many great John Williams parody references on Family Guy.
Oh, totally.
That doesn't talk down to the music, but it really pays homage to the brilliance
Yeah.
of John Williams' tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so Richard and Sarah, I was going to ask you guys, as the Star Wars power couple, I mentioned earlier that you had a Star Wars themed wedding. Now, coming from someone who was like, everybody assumed I would have a Star Wars themed wedding. I'm sorry to disappoint anyone, but I didn't. But I am really interested to know, what was your Star Wars themed wedding like, and what was everyone's reaction to it? What did your family say when they found out?
Well, to go back for the proposal, I had proposed to Sarah at the Japanese Gardens here in Long Beach, and as I'm about to give her the ring, I don't have it. The ring's gone. Where did the ring go? Well, who's always there to save the day? R2!
Ah, cool.
And R2-D2 rolls around the corner with the ring on his little blue arm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
And
So
it was just shocking to everyone that was there because we had R2 hidden and no one knew he was there.
Yeah, it was great. And before that, Bert and Mary Poppins came and sang "It's a Jolly Holiday."
Ah.
Sarah's favorite film, other than the Star Wars film, is Mary Poppins.
Yeah, awesome.
So it was a mashup of the best of Sarah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And people can
And then
watch this
came the
on
wedding.
YouTube as well. People can actually watch the whole
Oh, really?
proposal
Oh,
on
fantastic.
YouTube, which I did
Oh, cool.
many years ago.
Oh, we'll pop it up in the show notes. That's awesome.
And there's even wedding highlights in there as well.
Ah, cool.
And now, if anyone that came to to our wedding and thought we would not have Star Wars or Disney represented, then they clearly didn't know who we were.
Yeah.
So they, as friends, they knew it was happening anyway. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And I think the general consensus was they really wanted to come because not only did we have a Disney Star Wars wedding, we had a masquerade ball.
Oh,
'cause it was
cool.
in October.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, so everyone got to dress up.
And since Sarah and I are entertainers, most of our friends are entertainers.
Yeah.
It was not going to be a show. It was not going to be a wedding. It was going to be a show.
That's awesome.
So we had R2-D2 delivering the ring.
Yes, so R2-D2 came back.
He was the ring bearer, and of course, if you have R2, you got to have C-3PO.
Oh, cool.
And
That is awesome.
So our friend Ian, who had a spot on 3PO outfit, surprised everyone because nobody knew, except for a small handful, that C-3PO was going to be there. They knew R2 was going to be there, but I made sure nobody, not even the wedding coordinator, knew that C-3PO was going to be there. So when those curtains opened to reveal the ring bearer, there's R2 and C-3PO.
Very cool. That's awesome.
And then we did have a certain somebody who tried to say no to the marriage of me and Sarah. So here comes our stormtrooper security guards.
So like when you do the kind of thing, does anybody object?
Anyone object?
These stormtroopers are piped up.
They rushed in and held him at gunpoint, and he quickly rethought his.
He didn't object.
He quickly rethought his objection.
This isn't the husband you're looking for. Anyway, moving on. For me, I know for my wedding, I had to make my Star Wars stuff really subliminal. I had Death Star cufflinks and Star Wars socks. That was pretty much it. Because my wife really appreciates my love of Star Wars, but she's not really a fan. But what about you, James? Obviously you've got a huge collection at home. What's your wife's take on Star Wars? Is she a fan too, or?
Well, the funny thing is, we actually had a Disney-themed wedding.
Oh, really?
Oh, fun!
Wow.
And we actually went on honeymoon to Disney as well, to Disney World in Florida. So we're huge Disney fans as well. We've got lots of original carousels and artwork and stuff around the house. And I did some work for IndyCar back in the 90s, and it was always my dream to go to the studios, go to the lot. So there's three things that I collect. It's Disney stuff, Star Wars, and stuff from the rock group Queen.
Oh, and, Queen! Fantastic.
Yeah, and Brian is a good buddy. And so there I was helping out. We did all the software for the media accreditation for IndyCar, and there was this guy with a cane, and this was this was long before I had my back issues, and he was standing in the line, and I said, let me bring you to the front, and he was like, no, don't be silly, I'll wait in the line, and this was the VIP line, and I said, no, I'll bring you to the front. Anyway, I persuaded him, he came to the front, we get talking. It turns out he's a senior vice president of Hollywood Records, which is a division of Disney, and he's in charge of Queen. So,
oh my goodness!
The following day, my dream came true. I got a tour around the Disney lot. I joined Dave Smith, who was the chief archivist at the time, and he took me on a tour with the new staff, and I got to hold an Oscar, and then he took me into the store, and I got 50% off all of my purchases, including a handmade Mickey and Minnie, which went on the top of our wedding cake.
Far out. That is amazing.
So, it just goes to prove that, you do a good deed, and somewhere along the line, it repays you. And, I didn't do it for anything. I didn't know who this guy was at all. And, so we had a Disney wedding, and my wife is big into Star Wars. She read all the books. Growing up, she was the one that got me back into collecting, because I had a drought. My parents got divorced in '86. My father threw out all my original Star Wars collection.
Oh man,
which was pretty hairy, and I didn't speak to my father for many years. We do speak now, and I've still never forgiven him. But anyway, the first year of us being married in '96, my wife bought me for the holidays a vintage Ewok.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so 36,999
items later.
Items later, she sort of regrets doing that. But and also 2 house extensions later, she sort of regrets doing that. But she comes with me all around the world. She's been with me everywhere. She's been to toy fairs and celebrations and Rancho Obi-Wan, and she's met some amazing people. And although she protests because of what's going on in the house, she does appreciate it and she does love it. And it's really difficult. We've got a spoiler-free policy in the house in terms of episode 7 and what's going on. It's really, really difficult for me because I'm working with Lucasfilm and I'm working with Disney, and I get to know a lot of things, and I've got nobody to talk to about things.
Well, if you ever need someone to consult you, just let me know, James. I'm always here for you, man.
Appreciate that.
That's some fantastic stories. That's awesome. Hey, guys, just to give you a score update, we are just about to head into round 4. It's a trap. We have James on 16 points and Richard and Sarah on 21 points. So anyone can win from here. It's time for round 4.
It's a trap!
So it's our final round of Star Wars trivia for Who Shot First. It's a trap. 1 point for a correct answer and 1 point off for the wrong answer. James, Richard, and Sarah, do you guys have your buzzers ready?
Yes.
Yes, we do. Greedo!
Okay.
Yeah,
Solo!
It's working.
So 1 point for a correct answer, 1 point off for a wrong answer. Quick fire. Here we go. Question number 1. Padme Amidala's parents can be seen in Revenge of the Sith, but which film were they cut from?
Greedo.
Rich.
Attack of the Clones.
Well done. Question number 2. Yak Face is a sought-after action figure for collectors, but what is the character's actual name?
Solo.
James.
Salt Marie.
Yes, well done. 1 point. Oxygen is the term fondly given to describe what element of the Star Wars films?
Greedo.
Solo.
Sarah.
The music.
The music. Well done. Question number 4. Paul Rubens famously voiced the droid Rex on the Disney ride Star Tours, but what is Rex's number/letter designation?
Solo.
James.
I'm going to go with 2-4.
You've got half of it right. Can you name the 2 letters before the number?
Oh, it's RX24.
Well done. Correct. Question number 5. Which of the original Golden Girls appeared in the Star Wars Holiday Special?
Greedo.
Richard.
That was B. Arthur playing Acmina.
Well done. For an extra point, can anyone name...
Holiday special.
Close. Can anyone name the song she sings in the special?
Oh.
This is a toughie. Richard.
A bad one.
Can I give you the idea? It's about...
Tell you what.
Everyone must go home. Get out.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to give that to you. The song was Good Night, but not Goodbye. Pretty much...
That's what I said.
Yeah, pretty much she was trying to kick people out of the pub. Easy way.
I heard him say that clearly.
Yeah. For my
I know my holiday special.
Nice. Either you know your holiday special or you just know your pubs. every time you go, they sing you out. Question number 6. What is the main vehicle you pilot in the video game Jedi Starfighter?
Greedo.
Richard.
Jedi Starfighter.
Well done. That's a tough one. Question number 7. For 2 points, who portrayed Luke Skywalker and Han Solo in the NPR Star Wars radio drama adaptation of Richard?
Luke Skywalker was played by Mark Hamill. Han Solo was played by Perry King.
Well done. Correct. 2 points. Question number 8. At Star Wars weekends this year, the Dark Fried, a selection of Star Wars-themed waffles, can be found and eaten in which lounge? Sarah.
The Rebel Hangar.
Well done. All right, here's a hard one. Name the 4 key organizations present in the Separatist Council during the era of the prequel films.
You've got the Droid Alliance.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that one. Yep.
Then you've got the Geonosians.
Yep.
Oh. No, go on.
That's fine. So I'm going to give you Geonosians. Oh, Richard, what have you got?
The Banking Clan.
Well done.
And the Techno Union.
Yes, well done. Well done, guys. All right.
What are you guys talking about? That's how much politics I pay attention to.
Exactly.
Remember when Wat Tambor was adjusting his...
Yeah.
Wat Tambor?
He actually, funny fact, he wasn't actually adjusting his vocalizer. He was actually adjusting his shares in the Banking Clan.
There you go.
Question number 10. Richard and Sarah and James, are you guys ready for the last question of tonight's episode of Who Shot First?
Yep.
Here we go. Question number 10. What was the name of Luke Skywalker's clone in Timothy Zahn's The Last Command?
Greedo.
Rich.
Luke Skywalker.
Correct.
Woo!
Okay, now at the end of our 4th round, we have our final scores. So coming in triumphantly in 2nd place for Team Solo is James with 20 points. Well done, James.
Thank you.
And that means one thing and one thing only. This month's Jedi Master or Jedi Masters with an amazing score of 30 points for Team Greedo is Richard and Sarah Woloski. So congratulations.
Well done, guys.
Richard and Sarah.
Thank you.
You are this month's Jedi Masters.
Thank you.
You know what? Can we give 5 points to James so we all come out even?
You can if you want to. Fine with me.
James, here's 5 points.
Oh, you're a star. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, guys,
in good health.
I want to thank you all so much for appearing on the show. You've been such great fun. Have you guys had a good time?
We had a fantastic time.
Super fun.
Thank you.
I especially liked the music questions.
Yeah.
That's my bag.
We could tell because you absolutely obliterated it. You were amazing.
Yeah. Next time, could you do a Lego round for me?
Yeah. Tell you what, James. If you come back in a couple of months, I promise to give you a Lego round.
Absolute pleasure.
I promise. So if you're listening, please make sure you stay up to date with our special guests. You can find out more about Richard and Sarah and their amazing podcast, Skywalking Through Neverland, at skywalkingthroughneverland.com or at skywalkingpod on Twitter. Also, they told me not to tell you anything, but I'm going to anyway. You can find out they've got something new in the works, Disney related, coming up soon with Stephen Stanton, the voice of Tarkin and Morolo Evol in the Clone Wars. So look out for that. As for James, make sure you check out Radio 1138 by Rebel Force Radio and the Collectors Cast, both on that network, JediNews.com, and you can also follow him on Twitter at Planet Burns to stay up to date with all the fantastic Star Wars writing he's doing. But don't just send them love, you have to save some for us as well, as we would love to hear how you scored on this month's episode of Who Shot First. Did you beat our special guests? Send us a tweet at Who Shot First, first place, and let us know how you went. But also, whilst you're at it, don't forget to like Who Shot First on Facebook, and be sure to check out dylanhesp.com/whoshotfirst or iTunes to subscribe for our latest episodes each and every month. Also, while you're there, if you love this episode, or even, just didn't hate it, why not help me sleep at night and post a 5-star review on iTunes, or share Who Shot First on Facebook, because every little bit helps to support the show. Thanks again to our amazing guests. I've been Dylan Hesp, and actually I still will be Dylan Hesp tomorrow. And thanks again for listening to Who Shot First. See you next time, and may the Force be with you.
I have to shoot first! Han Solo, baby! Woo!